Timmy was an ordinary boy. He lived in an ordinary town. Life was predictable until one day, it wasn't. A curious glow began to seep out from under his bed. Intrigued, Timmy peeked beneath. What he found was a swirling vortex of colors, pulsing and, believe it or not, whispering his name. Timmy, feeling a sudden and unexpected burst of courage, decided to jump in. The world around him twisted and spun, colors blurring into a dazzling kaleidoscope. Then, just like that, the colors solidified, and Timmy landed with a soft thud on what felt like fluffy cotton candy grass. He looked around, wide-eyed. This was a place unlike any he had ever seen. Giant lollipops towered over him and candy trees lined the horizon. Timmy was no longer bored. Oh no, he was ready for an adventure. Timmy walked through the sugary landscape, marveling at every step. Giant lollipops dotted the terrain and chocolate rivers meandered lazily by. He couldn't resist. He leaned down and took a tentative lick from a peppermint bush. The taste made him pause, his face lighting up with surprise and delight. Suddenly a giggle echoed through the air. A tiny, fluffy creature with rainbow wings bounced toward him. "Hello," she chirped, her voice bright and cheerful. "I'm Pip. Welcome to the whimsical woods." Timmy blinked in amazement as another figure appeared. Behind Pip lumbered a giant, gentle creature made entirely of moss with tiny flowers blooming on his back. Pip grinned and said, "This is Mossy. He speaks only in grunts, but don't worry, he's very friendly." Timmy, still trying to process everything, finally managed to stammer, "Wow!" He couldn't believe his luck. Not only was this place magical, but he had also found friends to share it with. Of course, their journey wasn't all candy rivers and fluffy creatures. Oh no, there were challenges too. Along the way, they encountered grumpy rock giants who blocked their path with tricky riddles. They had to navigate mazes made of shimmering cobwebs, spun by mischievous, invisible spiders. Timmy's courage was tested time and time again. He used his wit to solve the rock giants' riddles, while Pip's quick thinking and Mossy's quiet strength helped them escape the webbed maze. Through every trial, their bond grew stronger. But the most daunting test came in the whispering caves. Inside, their fears took shape, and doubts whispered in their ears. Timmy, holding Pip and Mossy close, shouted with all his might, "We're not afraid! We're in this together!" His voice echoed powerfully, chasing the whispering fears away. At last they reached a magnificent castle shimmering with 1,000 colors, but it wasn't unguarded. A sad, lonely cloud hovered above, raining on anyone who dared approach. Timmy, remembering what it felt like to be bored and lonely, understood the cloud's sadness. Instead of fear, he spoke to the cloud with kindness. He shared stories of their adventures, of Pip's infectious laughter, and of Mossy's gentle nature. The cloud, moved by Timmy's words and the warmth in his heart, stopped raining. Slowly the sun peeked through and a brilliant rainbow stretched across the sky. Timmy's journey had come to an end. He hugged Pip and Mossy tightly, saying goodbye to his new friends. Then, with a deep breath, he stepped back into the vortex. When he landed back in his room, the familiar glow under his bed faded away. But Timmy was no longer the same. Though he was back in his ordinary world, he carried the whimsical woods with him in his heart, in his laughter, and in the way he saw the world. He was forever changed by his extraordinary adventure.